What does it mean to live a good life? Is it about wealth, success, or personal freedom? Or is it about harmony, respect, and fulfilling our role in the greater whole? These questions have shaped civilizations for thousands of years. And one of the most influential answers came from a man who lived more than 2,500 years ago in ancient China, Confucius. Confucianism is more than a philosophy. It's a way of life. It has guided families, governments, and entire cultures for centuries. While Western philosophy often asks questions about truth, reason, and the individual, Confucianism turns our gaze toward relationships, society, and moral duty. But what exactly is Confucianism? What are its core principles? And how does it compare or clash with Western ways of thinking? In this video, we'll explore the life of Confucius, the timeless lessons at the heart of his teachings, and how Confucianism offers a radically different lens on human nature and ethics compared to Western philosophy. By the end, you may not just understand Confucianism better, you may begin to see your own life, your family, and even your society through new eyes. The life of Confucius. Confucius, or Confuzi in Chinese, lived during the 6th to 5th century BCE, a turbulent time in China known as the Spring and Autumn period. States were constantly at war, rulers were corrupt, and society was falling into chaos. Born into modest circumstances, Confucius never held absolute power. Instead, he became a teacher, traveling from court to court, offering rulers a blueprint for stability and harmony. His message was simple yet profound. Societies thrive not through brute force or wealth, but through virtue, order, and moral leadership. Though he never saw his vision fully realized in his lifetime, his disciples recorded his teachings in a collection called the Analects. These short sayings, dialogues, and reflections became the foundation of Confucianism, a tradition that would shape China, Korea, Japan, and beyond for over 2 millennia. While Western thinkers like Socrates were asking, "What is truth?" Confucius was asking, "How do we live together well?" The core principles of Confucianism. At the heart of Confucianism are a few timeless principles, values that guide not just personal life, but family, politics, and society. 1. Ren, humaneness or benevolence. Ren is the highest virtue. It means compassion, empathy, kindness. Confucius believed that true humanity comes from cultivating care for others. A good ruler rules with Ren. A good child treats their parents with Ren. It's about seeing others not as means to an end, but as fellow beings deserving respect. 2. Li, ritual, propriety, and social harmony. Li goes beyond ceremonies. It's the everyday practice of respect. How we greet, how we speak, how we treat elders, how we honor traditions. Li ensures order in relationships. Without Li, society dissolves into chaos. With Li, even simple actions gain dignity. 3. Xiao, filial piety. One of the most famous Confucian values is the respect for parents and ancestors. Xiao is not blind obedience, but deep gratitude. Parents give us life, ancestors shape our lineage. By honoring them, we root ourselves in something larger than the individual. 4. Yi, righteousness or justice. Yi is the moral compass, choosing what is right over what is profitable. A society thrives when leaders pursue justice rather than self-interest. For Confucius, the noble person, the junzi, always acts according to Yi, even when it's difficult. 5. The junzi, the noble person. Confucianism holds up the junzi, or noble person, as an ideal. Not noble by birth, but by character. The junzi is self-disciplined, virtuous, respectful, and just. Anyone, through cultivation, can become a junzi. 6. Harmony over individualism. Perhaps the biggest theme in Confucianism is harmony. Life is not about individual freedom alone, but about fulfilling one's role in the family, community, and society. Harmony is achieved when everyone knows their duties and performs them with virtue. Together, these principles form not just a philosophy, but a blueprint for life. Respect others, honor tradition, act justly, seek harmony, and cultivate virtue. Confucianism versus Western philosophy. Now, how does Confucianism differ from Western philosophy? 1. Focus on the collective versus the individual. Western philosophy, especially since ancient Greece, often emphasizes the individual. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Descartes declared, "I think, therefore I am." The individual is the center of truth-seeking. Confucianism, however, places the collective first. The question is not, who am I, but how do I relate to others? Fulfillment is found in family, duty, and harmony, not isolated self-reflection. 2. Ethics. Rooted in relationships versus abstract principles. Western ethics often search for universal laws, Kant's categorical imperative, utilitarian calculations, rights-based theories. Confucian ethics, by contrast, begin with concrete relationships: child to parent, ruler to subject, friend to friend. Morality is lived, not abstract. 3. Harmony versus truth. Western philosophy often pursues truth. Whether metaphysical truth, scientific truth, or logical consistency. Confucianism prioritizes harmony. A belief or action is good not just if it is true, but if it fosters balance in society. 4. Education and self-cultivation. Both traditions value education, but Western education often emphasizes critical thinking and questioning authority. Confucian education emphasizes moral cultivation, respect for tradition, and becoming a better person within the social order. 5. Politics, law versus virtue. Western political thought, from Plato to Hobbes, often emphasizes laws, contracts, and institutions. Confucius believed that laws alone cannot sustain a society. Only virtuous leaders, ruling with benevolence, can truly hold a nation together. 6. View of human nature. In the West, debates rage. Are humans naturally good, evil, or neutral? For Confucianism, humans are good by nature but require cultivation. Left unchecked, we may drift toward selfishness, but through Ren and Li, we can refine our natural goodness. Section 4. The modern relevance of Confucianism. Why does Confucianism matter today? In East Asia, its influence is everywhere, in family structures, education systems, political culture. Respect for elders, emphasis on education, the value of community over individualism, all trace back to Confucius. But even in the West, Confucianism offers a counterbalance. In a world obsessed with self-expression, Confucianism reminds us of duty. In societies fractured by division, it reminds us of harmony. As the world grows more interconnected, the dialogue between Confucian and Western philosophy is more relevant than ever. We need both: the Western drive for truth and freedom, and the Confucian call for virtue and harmony. So, what is Confucianism? It is a philosophy of life centered on virtue, respect, and harmony. It teaches us that true greatness lies not in wealth or power, but in the way we treat others, honor tradition, and fulfill our role in the larger web of life. And how does it differ from Western philosophy? Where the West often asks, "What is truth?" Confucius asks, "How should we live together?" Where the West focuses on the individual, Confucianism focuses on relationships. Where the West emphasizes law, Confucius emphasizes virtue. Two traditions, two lenses, and both, perhaps, are needed to navigate the modern world. If you found this exploration insightful, give this video a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Timeless Questions for more deep dives into philosophy, history, and human nature. Because the questions may be ancient, but the wisdom is timeless.